Jump Force has a lot of problems. I listed a lot of them in my review, but despite that, here I am, still playing the game. Perhaps it's because I still have a glimmer of hope for this game's future. After all, it's being patched quite frequently, but it also feels like the stuff that actually matters isn't getting patched at all. Now, I'm not just some random Jump Force hater. Whenever I say something negative, it is with the hopes of it making the game better. So as a player on the top 100 rank of the PS4, here is some constructive feedback. 10 changes that I believe need to happen for Jump Force to become a better game. And for this video, I'm going to be focusing on the multiplayer part. A lot of people want more characters or they want specific characters, but you just can't make everyone happy with characters no matter who you add. That's a losing battle. There's no way you can please everyone. We'll be talking about the fighting mechanics and the systems that make this game a total cheese fest online and just incredibly frustrating to play at higher ranks. Number 10, more stamina on perfect counters. I would personally just eliminate perfect counters altogether. I don't like that system at all. But if I am meeting the developers halfway and what their vision was for this game, then at least have this ability consume more stamina. Some people have actually mastered the timing of perfect counters, something I believe was impossible. I thought it was only luck. But with that said, it still happens randomly more times than it should. And either you do it by accident or on purpose, this ability should never cost less stamina than a high-speed dodge. It is way too powerful for that low of a cost. Please make it spend more stamina. Number 9, extend the timer. Too many battles in Jump Force end by timeout if you have some more of a defensive playstyle. To the point where people are just running away from a fight if they're winning. Since zoning is such a reliable tool in this game, they zone, they poke a little bit of damage and they run away. And it works not only because of the timer being so short, but also because of other mechanics that we'll talk about later in this video. If you extend the timer, this game of chicken won't be so popular anymore. Jump Force is a game where you are encouraged to play aggressively, and the timer is one of those things that encourages that. But by having mechanics that encourage you to play one way in detriment of others, you are actively taking away player choice. You are telling them that this is how this game must be played and that there's no other option. If you play it any other way, you're playing it wrong. And when a game does that, it just becomes inherently less interesting because you see more and more players just playing the same way. There's less room for discovery, there's less room for different playstyles. Please make the timer longer. Number 8, nerf the tracking when sidestepping. When you step around an opponent's attacks, how many times did you just get hit because your enemy did a whoop, full 180 and hit you anyway? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It is just way too inconsistent. And I know it has to do with the timing. If you don't charge an attack all the way, you'll just track the opponent better. But how is that acceptable? You found an opening, you dodged around to the opponent's back, and without even thinking about it, your opponent just automatically turned around and hit you. Please nerf this tracking. Just stop helping players so much. It's not like they don't have other options for dealing with this when the opponent sidesteps. They can cover these gaps with assists or even raw tagging. Speaking of. Number 7, nerf the defensive raw tags. Tagging a new character is an extremely powerful tool, but it really shouldn't be possible when you're hitting another character in the face. If you perfectly sidestep an opponent and you start attacking them, a new character shouldn't come from behind and start hitting you instead. I don't care if the player had already pressed the tag button before getting hit. I'm hitting his face. He should not be countering me right now. He should be getting punched in the face. And one of the reasons why this move is ridiculous is because it takes forever for your own character to turn around and realize, oh, he tagged someone else and I should be attacking that guy behind me, not this guy in front of me. It's almost as if you're completely helpless at that point. You can keep the tags as they are in neutral, you can keep them as they are in combos or even in block strings. But if I hit my opponent's face, there better not be another character behind me. Number 6, increase the assist cooldown. It is available way too often. It lets players be stupidly aggressive, it lets them do dumb and unsafe stuff over and over again because the assist is just there to cover for your mistakes. It enables the annoying zoner / time waster playstyle that we talked about earlier in the video. And if you have a good assist like Rukia or Piccolo, it can be tough to get closer to your opponent because while you're blocking the assist, it's just dashing away across the stage. Make players think about their offensive options a little bit more because when you have an assist, you barely have to think at all. Number 5, nerf the escapes. Escapes were nerfed back on the closed beta to the open beta. Previously, they didn't even spend your whole stamina meter, only half of your bar. And that was a good change, but I'd say it wasn't taken far enough. After an opponent escapes, they have no stamina for a while, but then it just starts regenerating. And as soon as they have the tiniest bit of stamina, they can escape again, straight away. Give escapes a minimum stamina requirement. Half the meter, heck, even a quarter maybe. Right now, escapes become available way too fast. That detracts from combos and it just benefits players players that escape and randomly throw an ability. Yes, you can block if you see it coming, but you don't see it coming all the time. And the punishment is too harsh for this thing that is just so easy to do. Escape ability, come on. Number 4, I just nerfed a bunch of defensive options, and at this point matches will be way too fast because combos are more devastating and there's nothing your opponent can do because his escape is recovering, he cannot use assists or raw tags defensively. So to balance that out, let's nerf some damage. Nerf the special damage. At the same time, please fix combo scaling. Random projectiles or abilities deal a lot of damage in this game, and when you put them in a long combo, it becomes almost pointless to use them because the damage is neglectable at that point. Nerf the random specials that people just throw out, but don't hinder them too much in combos. A balance can be struck here. You can reward players who put in the work to lab the most optimal combos, the most situational even, and at the same time punish players that just throw random abilities after escaping, or players that just spam abilities from afar. Number 3, the rematch button. Where is our rematch option? I get it if you don't want to add it to ranked because you don't want players to inflate the ranks by farming the same person over and over. However, if you play the same person over and over, they're gonna go down in rank, and when you play lower ranks, you get like 1 point per each match. I don't even think you could really just farm rank. But even then, why is rematch not an option on friendly matches? The process of inviting a friend to play is long enough to become extremely annoying when you have to do it over and over. Just put a rematch button after the match is done. Did both players press it? Great. Loading screen, match restart. It can't be that freaking hard. Everyone's been asking for this. How is it still not in the game? Number 2, better patch priority. I am 100% absolutely loving the fact that this game is getting patched as frequently as it is. The latest patch notes affected characters in a way that I agree with pretty much all the changes, but these were changes that should have been very low on the priority list. Who cares if Shiryu recovers faster after his special move? How many Shiryu mains are out there? 10? Guess what? Those 10 players all have to deal with the same top tier BS that this game has. Ryo Saiba's assist seems to have its tracking nerfed, something that wasn't even in the patch notes by the way, but the guard break cheese still works. Aizen rush and strong attacks tracking is still insane. Zoro's damage is still off the chart. It feels like they're fixing the smaller problems and ignoring the bigger ones. Now, that might not actually be the case. They might not be just ignoring the bigger problems, they might just be tougher to fix. So they move on to smaller, easier to fix problems. But I didn't see anyone asking to nerf Yugi's damage, and now look where he is. Lowest on the tier list. Yeah, I read your comments on the tier list. I didn't see a single good argument. I went to Twitter and asked for videos of high-ranking Yugi players so you guys could prove me wrong. Not a single video was sent. Anyway, the way patches have been delivered makes it feel like the devs are disconnected from the way this game's being played. And that's just not a good image. Prioritize the biggest problems, please. And at the number 1, finally, a small quality of life change that I think would actually be a bigger deal in the higher ranks. Created characters are a problem. They can be extremely strong with the right loadout. And on top of that, you just don't know what their abilities are until you're getting hit with them. That just gives created characters an unfair advantage. If you see someone running Aizen, Ryo Saiba, and Hisoka, you immediately know what these characters are capable of. In this case, you just know that this fight is going to be a cheese fest. But when you see a created character, you just have no idea. So put their abilities on the loading screen, something like this. At a quick glance, you now have an idea of the playstyle they're going to be running, because figuring out a player should not include figuring out what abilities they have equipped. So just make it a bit fairer by including those abilities in the loading screen. Some of these changes could cause whole new problems. I don't claim that the game would be perfect at this point, but these are some of the mechanics that are just incredibly frustrating, and I'd like to see them change at some point. Now, do I think any of these changes will happen? Unfortunately, no. From day one, the developers didn't seem interested in making this game competitively fun, plus it's Spike Chunsoft. They don't have the best track record when it comes to balancing stuff. I've kind of lost hope at this point, but that doesn't mean I can't be constructive and put my opinion out there on a game that I've just played a ton of hours on. Too many. If you've got other things that you'd like to see change in Jump Force, let me know in the comments down below, but as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.